Education Committee for the National Coalition of 100 Black Women. And tonight we are kicking off our first workshop with the transformation from middle school to high school. And so we have an awesome speaker, Miss Regina Robinson, who has been doing this for quite a while. She's been a contributing writer for Be Empowered magazine. She's been on the cover of She Is magazine. She's been featured in WYB magazine. She is Amazon's best-selling author with Winning the Game of College Admissions. So we've got woman of substance that's on the line with us tonight. And so without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to her so that she can begin her presentation, and we will go from there. Thank you, Ms. Robinson. And we truly appreciate you showing up and educating us on the areas where we need to be empowered so that we can go out there and change the next generation.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And thank you so much to the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Virginia chapter, for choosing me to come and do these series of workshops. And so I am excited to be here with the students and the parents, because I believe we have a little of both mixed together. And
Yes.
so thank you so much again for opening the door, and for the parents and the students who have made the first decision to invest in their education. So thank you so much again. And so I'm going to share my screen and bring up the slide deck for us so that we can jump right in. And so let me just move around some stuff so I can get it to go on slideshow, and we are good to go. All right. And so tonight's the first session of the series, again, is preparing from, this thing moves on its own, so hold on. Is preparing for the next chapter, and I said, entitled it Ready, Set, High School Bound. And the reason why I wanted to decide to make the title Ready, Set, Now It's High School, because you got to start getting ready. And so tonight is the opportunity for us to prepare so that you are ready. So then you can get set for the time when it actually comes. And then here comes high school. You can walk into the door with some confidence, with some ease, because you've had some knowledge, some wisdom, some skills, some tools that you can use under your belt to make sure that you have what it takes to prepare you to be able to move forward with the with the high school process, which also is the college process. And so just a little bit about myself so that you don't believe, like, who is this woman Miss Dora brought on here? Why should we listen to her? And so I am America's #1 college admissions advocate. I have been helping high school students successfully navigate the college admissions process for the last 15 years. I have helped students and families gain over $25 million in scholarships and grants. I have spoken to thousands of parents and students about winning the game of college admissions, which again is my book that Amazon ranks #1 for helping families navigate winning the game of college admissions. I am also a HECA member, which HECA means it's an organization where if you're going to say you support families in college counseling, you should be a part of HECA. If not, you're not really a notable college counselor. I am also a former NIFTY Teacher of the Year. I teach students how to start, operate, and run their own business. I'm a former high school educator. I taught high school students for 9 years. I am also a former college professor. I taught at Trinity Washington University for 3.5 years. I am a graduate, and I'm repping my school tonight, of Bowie State University, go Bulldogs, for my undergraduate degree. And I am also a graduate of Georgetown University for my master's degree. So, hey, I'm not leaving out those Hoyas. And so I am excited to be here with each and every one of you tonight. And again, I hope that I will give you some tools and resources so that you can successfully get ready, set, so that you can go off to high school, whatever year that might be, whether it's next year, the year after that, or the year after that. So I want to pause and take a quick second. If parents will chat and students, or if we have just students or parents and students, if you would briefly chat what grade your child is in the chat, that would be amazing. And then we can keep moving. So if you would just take a quick second, chat in the chat what grade your child is in this year currently, that will be great. So we have a ninth grader. So we already have one high school student. Awesome. We have some, I believe, middle schoolers as well. Oh, and we have a senior. So Nadia is a senior in high school. I want to say for sure. I know she's not saying a senior in college, so I'm going to assume a senior in high school. We have a sixth grader. Yeah, she said yes, senior in high school. Okay, so we have a senior, we have a ninth grader, and we have a sixth grader. So we're gonna, although the presentation, you'll see some of this is about, and we have a fifth grade and sixth grader. So we're gonna tailor this primarily around the middle schools, but drop nuggets and gems for the high school students too. And then towards the end, I'm gonna ask some of the high school students to chime in on a few questions with their response of how it was for them when they were transitioning to high school. So that's perfect that we have a plethora of grade levels suited and mixed in together. So what to expect in high school? One thing I know that is not taking place is in middle school, they're not talking enough about the importance of your GPA. It is so important. Right now, you're just kind of going to classes. You're worried about just fitting in school. You're worried about all the peer pressure. You're worried about getting along with your teachers, but you're not necessarily worrying about your GPA. Well, from today forward, they always say we perish because of a lack of knowledge, right? Well, today you're going to get all the knowledge and power, but you got to take action with it. And so moving forward, your academics is key in everything that you do. And so maintaining a GPA, I always tell students, if you can guarantee yourself a GPA of at least a 3.5 every quarter, from the time you're in middle school through high school, you've pretty much written yourself a ticket to a college. Anything above a 3.5 every semester averages you out to above a 3.75 when it's time for you to graduate and get looked at by colleges. And the goal is to get looked at them for merit scholarships. And so the key is, though, your academics have to be on point, right? And so I am not a former, I am a parent of a former middle school, high school. Now she's a senior in college. And so we had this same conversation. Listen, when you walk in those high school doors, every quarter you must have a 3.5 because I don't want to pay for college. I want college to pay you to attend. And that is exactly what happens every semester that she's been in college. We've not paid for college. College has paid her to attend college. And that's the way you want it. What to expect in high school, your friendships are going to be different. You're going to meet new students because in your middle school, everyone is zoned who's been zoned there. But when you come to high school, there's other students zoned to that school that were not zoned to your middle school. So you get to have new friendships. But I always say your friendships is important because it's going to determine how far you're going to go in high school. It's going to determine whether you stay on track or whether you fall off the tracks while you're in high school. So always choose your friends wisely. And that's in middle school, that's in high school, and that's going to be the same thing in college as well. All three of those levels and all three of those times should be growth in how you choose your friends. Jim Rohn says we're always going to be as successful as the 4 people we are surrounded by. So take inventory tonight. Who's the 4 people you are connected with that you run with in school? Are they encouraging you? Are they pushing you to be better every day? Are they inspiring you? Are they speaking life into you? And are you doing vice versa for them? So make sure you are that friend just as well. Leadership is something that you will encounter while you're in high school, as well as why you should be encountering it while you're in middle school. Leadership roles come in organizations, whether you're in clubs in or outside of schools. You get that in all areas of your organizations at your schools. So please get involved in extracurricular activities, whether it's in school or whether it's out of school. Extracurriculars are important. They help to build character, they help to build leadership skills, and again, they tie into those friends as well. Also, sports is also a part of extracurricular activities. Are you involved in sports? Now, if you're not, it's okay. Not every student is a sports student. Some students are SGA presidents, some students are DECA members, some students are debate team members. And so not everyone wants to play sports. But if you do play sports, take what sports is supposed to really offer, and that's leadership skills, teamwork, that's growth, that's discovery. And so make the best of that. Here's one big thing that what to expect in high school and how to navigate this in middle school, high school, and college, and that is time management. With every level that you climb, you will realize that time management is crucial and it is key. You cannot keep being a procrastinator of life. If you're a procrastinator of life now, you'll be a procrastinator of life as a from a middle school as a high schooler. If you're a procrastinator of life as a high schooler, you'll be a procrastinator of life, my seniors, as a college student. And none of those areas being a procrastinator is a good thing. And so you want to stop procrastinating. And I always say procrastination is the thief of your success. So don't allow it to steal yours. And so stop procrastinating, because when you wait to the last minute to do work, you get last minute results. And remember, I've charged you to say a 3.5 every quarter. So you can't earn a 3.5 if you're procrastinating and waiting to the last minute. So prepare yourself with time management. Prepare yourself to be organized. Organization is so key in the high school. So for some of you, you're in middle school now and you're not really as organized. You're in some of my high school seniors later, you can tell me when I ask you about this organization question, you can attest to how important it is to be organized. But now to my high school seniors, I could attest to you as a college professor that you need to be 100% organized, or things will fall by the wayside next year. And then you will find yourself drowning in the deep end of the pool and you not have a life jacket, or you not know how to swim. So if you are not an organized high school senior or a high school street student, because you're a freshman on here as well, if you are not organized, now is the time for you to discover what helps you to be organized, what helps you to manage your time. Most importantly, what helps you to be a team member, because teamwork starts in high school. I don't know about you, but I was that teacher who loved giving group work, although my students hated group work. And although I hated group work when I was in school, but I still gave it as a teacher and a professor. Why? It builds your character muscles. It helps you to be connected with people who are not always going to see things the way you see things, who are not always going to operate the way you operate, and who is often not going to move the way you move. And here's why. That's life. And so teamwork, believe it or not, group projects build all of those muscles for you and those skills for you. So although we don't like, most of us, group work, I promise you group work is teaching you some underlining lessons that you would often have never learned or discovered if you didn't do group work when you were in middle school, high school primarily, and then college. So embrace group work from now on. Social, being able to be social. And so social, not so much for, when I say social for middle schoolers, when I say social for middle schools, I want to explain what social means a little bit more. Social for me, as a middle schooler, is being careful who you socialize with, so that you're not following the crowd, and you're not getting in trouble. And you're not saying, okay, I want to hang with this group because I think this is the cool group, but the cool group don't like to do no work. At least you think everybody in the cool group don't like to do any work. But behind the scenes, they pretend they're not smart, but some of them are really smart and getting really good grades. But then you attach yourself to that group and then you don't get as good grades. Don't become the social butterfly that you're no good academically. Be the butterfly academically where your wings are flopping, right? And everyone wants to be like you. But don't be the social group, be in the social group that gets in trouble. So I always have to add that in when it's a middle school to high school thing. And that's social in high school as well. Social in high school can carry you to the wrong destination as well. And so stay focused, pick again back to your friendships in your circle, making sure that those things are important important to you and that those things matter. Our next slide talks about maintaining academic excellence. So taking that next level breakdown of that 3.5 GPA. You can't do that if you're in classes, right? And you never ask for extra credit or extra help. You don't have good study habits. You think that you could study the night before and come to science or come to math and ace the test the next day. And for some reason, this time it didn't go right. We don't have time to play what I call Russian roulette with our academics, because remember, a 3.5 GPA is what's going to write you that ticket into college for them to pay you. So study habits is important. Preparing for your exams, again, that time management, not waiting to the last minute, completing all, and I mean all, homework, not being that student who has to come to your teacher and say, oh, I'll just use myself as Miss Robinson. I noticed that I missed a couple of homework assignments. Can I make those up? Or Miss Robinson, can I have extra credit? I was the teacher that said, I don't give extra credit because you had extra time when you had the homework assignment because I gave it ahead of time. So that was your extra time and your extra credit. So it teaches a little more lenient these days, right? Where they might actually give extra credit or they might actually give extra time on their work. But don't count on that. Be ahead of time so that you don't have to. I always say, if you arrive on time, you late. You should be ready before time. And that way you don't have to worry about fixing things along the way. And always tell students, because my high school seniors that are about to graduate, please mental note this. There is nothing wrong with tutoring. Somewhere along the line in the elementary cafeteria, I'm going to just blame it on the cafeteria in elementary school. Someone said if you had to go to tutoring, you was dumb. I feel like you're dumb if you don't go to tutoring, because you should always be going to tutoring. There's always something that you are not sure of or familiar with that you can get some extra support so that you can be ahead of the game, so that you can be on top of things, right? So please, 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 I implore you, to all my middle schoolers, get tutoring. To my high schoolers, get tutoring. To my college students, when you get there, the 12th graders, every college offers a tutoring lab. You should be visiting the tutoring lab. I tell all my students when they enter my class, have you been to the tutoring lab yet? Before you came to my class. Most of them, no, Miss Robinson, I don't need the tutoring lab. Miss Robinson, we love you. I don't need the tutoring lab. And I said, well, guess what? Before you write my first paper, you better run to that tutoring lab. So I taught business classes and English classes. And I would always tell my students, you better run to the tutoring lab. So the people in the tutoring lab has taken my class. So they know what I'm going to mark up your paper about. You don't know that yet. So why get a bad grade on that first paper when you could actually be one of the ones who get a good grade because you went to the tutoring lab? So tutoring is important. When you get to your high school and you start deciding whether you want to be in honors or AP classes, I suggest them both. But here's what I know. Not every student can handle the rigor of honors and AP. If you are that student, there is nothing wrong with that. You could, in fact, still get carried at 3.5 GPA all the way through high school and still write that ticket. Told you I have a college senior daughter. My daughter never took honors and AP courses. She wasn't at that rigor level when she was in high school, but she still maintained that 3.5 GPA, and we still got that ticket to her college. So do I recommend honors and AP? Absolutely. But do what's best for you. Remember, your educational journey is your race, your pace. Don't compare your journey to someone else's journey. Just do the best in your journey. And so the rigorous courses is something colleges look at, but they also look at students who did not take rigorous courses as well. Then you have what they call dual enrollment when you get into high school, which allows you to take college courses at a community college or, in fact, some four-year colleges here in the state of Maryland. So if you're in Maryland or you're in Virginia, they offer those same programs of dual enrollment. So you want to tap into those dual enrollment programs if it fits with who you are and your learning style. Social and emotional readiness. I know you're like, wow, she threw that in there. Absolutely. Here is what I know. As students, social and emotional wellness is necessary now more than ever since COVID. We have to pay attention to ourselves. We have to tune in to how we're feeling And we have to most importantly ask for help. And help could be the smallest thing. It could be from your parents, it could be from your teachers, it could be from you going to sit with your guidance counselor, and it could be with your circle of influence of friends. So that's why I said when we talk back a couple of slides, friendship is key. Those four people connected to you. Do you feel social and emotional well when you are with them? Or do you feel stress and anxiety, or whether you might get in trouble, or whether you can't tell your parents if you've done something? And if that's the case, they are not socially and emotionally a wellness for you. And so there's an opportunity for you to pause and evaluate your circle. And here's what happens: it does not mean you are better than anyone else, it just means you love you more than anything else. And that's the most important part. You can't be academically sound if you're emotionally bound. And so we have got to make sure as students that you are well so you can be your best. And doing that means you're going to ask for help. I always tell people there is power in the ask, but if you never open your mouth, you take away your own power. So be sure that you are asking for whatever support, whatever help, whatever guidance that you need. And then we run to the last one, which is managing stress. High school is stressful. And to my 12th graders who are about to graduate, college is even more stressful. And so you have got to learn how to balance and encounter being stressed. But don't just be stressed and don't do anything about it. Stress is a silent killer. And so every college campus has a wellness center. Take time and visit the wellness center. The wellness center can literally just be a meditation class. The wellness center can literally be a yoga class. The wellness center can literally just be a counselor who's there for you to just talk. Can I tell you, it's necessary to talk? I mentor college students, and they know they can pick up the phone and call me at any given moment. And if I don't answer, they know how to counteract that phone call with a text message that says between us that it's a wellness check-in. So that means I need to drop wherever I'm at and what I'm doing to reach out, because I want to be that lifeline so that they don't feel like their lifeline is ever snatched from them. And so a lot of students deal with that. So to my two seniors who are going off to college, find your lifeline before you get there, because there will be days that you need it. And some of those lifelines can't be your parent. They're just not, because you don't feel like you can tell your parent everything. And even my high school students, find your lifeline. It might be a mentor for you. And it won't always be your parent. You guys have the National Coalition of 100 Black Women right there. They are all amazing women in their right. Pick one to be your mentor. Pick one to be your trusted ally, right? And always remember, I don't care if we're your trusted ally, we're your mentor or not, we are never that entrusted that if it's something detrimental, we will not go to your family. That is our right. We must do that. We wouldn't be able to sleep at night if we did not. We are your trusted ally, and we're there to go with you to mediate with your parents. But we can never keep it from your parents if it means it is detrimental to you holding on to your lifeline. And so I encourage each and every one of you. I literally came from University of Maryland Eastern Shore today, sharing with college students there on campus, and I told them this exact same thing. Your lifeline is important. Mentorship is important. And not only do you need a mentor, when you get to a space where you have learned what a mentorship means, what a mentor means, you should be mentoring someone else. So to all my high school students going off to college, when you get your footing and you get your mentorship and you learn, you reach back and you mentor another middle school student, or you come back and you mentor for the sessions that the National Coalition of 100 Black Women facilitate. You come back and you be that voice. Don't just graduate and go off and leave the ones who are behind. Maya Angelou says it best. She says, when you learn, you teach. When you get, you give. So who are you going, how you're standing on someone else's shoulders. Allow these young girls that's coming behind you to stand on your shoulders. That's important. You can't just get from the women that are going to support you, and then you don't turn around as a young woman now and go back and support those other young women. So the students who go through my college bound program and they graduate and they're all off at college and they're doing great, they come back and they talk to the ones who are current in high school in the program so that they can encourage them, so they can motivate them, so they can tell them exactly what their journey was like. And so that's important for you as students as well. So always be willing to not just take, but you also serve and you give as well. So your social and emotional well-being is key in this area of life as early as middle school. The importance of extracurricular activities. I don't know how many times I meet seniors in high school and they have not done not one extracurricular activity. Extracurricular activities are important. They build leadership. They build leadership. They put you into leadership roles. They help you with community service activities. They allow you to network with people. They allow you to expand your horizon. And so please, please, the importance of extracurricular activities is at the top of the list. But here's what I always tell students. Quality trumps quantity all day. You could be in 10 organizations. That don't mean anything to a college. What means something to them is that you have committed to one or two or three organizations and you've been in them for multiple years. You, in fact, maybe hold a leadership role in those organizations, or you're a secretary, or you're a sergeant of arms, or whatever it is that you're doing something and that you've been a part of that organization and you given back in that organization. That's what extracurricular activities mean. Not just saying I'm signing up for a bunch of random stuff. Extracurricular activities is supposed to help build, again, leadership, community service. And then here's what I know. I can almost guarantee this, and I never even asked Miss Store this, but I can almost guarantee this, that you guys do community service under the 100 Black Women Coalition. And if you don't, you can ask them what community service they do so you can go with them to do some community service, because you need community service hours to graduate high school. I believe you need, not middle school, but you need it to graduate from high school. And you will also need community service hours to graduate from college. So you need to learn what it's like to serve your community now so you're prepared, because the next levels require it. Last but not least, what's your vision? Your vision for your life. This is a roadmap for you to create your vision. My vision, that means you. What is my vision personally? What do I have for right out? This is your blueprint. And I challenge you to, maybe Ms. Store will do this with you guys as an activity, one workshop. And I challenge you to fill this in for your life so you have a roadmap. What are your personal goals? What is your vision for you personally? What is your vision for you academically? What is your vision for leadership for yourself? How do you see yourself as a leader? What do you understand leadership as? What's your vision for your extracurriculars while you're in school? Do you want to play sports? Do you desire to be on the cheer team or the basketball team, or the step team when you get from middle school to high school or high school to college? And most importantly, what's your vision for college? Not every student desires to go to college, but if you do, what's your vision for getting to that destination? And for my 12th graders, you're already getting ready to go to college. You've probably made your decision. I can't wait to ask that during Q&A. But now that you have, what's your vision when you get to college? Because here's what I told the students at University of Maryland Eastern Shore. You are not going to college to survive semester after semester after semester. That's a waste of time. You're going to college to thrive. Every day you want to become a greater version of who you were the day before, and you want to be greater every day. So what's your vision as a college student? What's going to be your vision as in leadership at college, and your academics at college, and your personal at college? And most importantly, how are you going to get involved on your college campus at college? That will be your extracurricular graph. So I challenge you guys again to Miss Store. Hopefully, if not, you guys will do this even on your own. But that is a part of, I wanted to share that with you. And then last but not least, I want to talk to the parents, because we can't leave them not knowing what their role is in all of this. So as a parent, I always hear parents say, here's what the gossip is on the school parking lot, right? Once your kids get in middle school, you good. You done did your part. That's a lie. Your kids need you now more than ever in middle school and in high school. And in fact, they're going to still need you when they get to college, because college make them become adults, and they're not quite adult ready. And so they're going to need you now. So I always say you can't go on autopilot. I don't know about you, but I don't want to ever get on a plane that's being driven on autopilot, and the pilot ain't nowhere on the plane to be found. No, I'm going to take the next flight, okay? And I'm sure you would want to too. Well, that's the same for your child. They don't want to go through the rest of these phases of life believing that you're not there for them. And so attending school events is important. Going to PTA meetings and being involved so you can be a part of the change at your child's school so they can benefit from the change. Communicating with not only your students, but with your students' teachers, and then teaching your students how to communicate with their teachers and advocate for themselves. I'm a strong believer as a parent. I taught my child how to advocate for herself. I'm going to give the teachers one. She's going to advocate on number one time. I'm going to give the teachers two. She's going to advocate on number two. Now, I ain't sending her back to advocate number three. Number three, here, I'm come shooting bullets, okay? And so that's what I recommend all of my parents to do. So we're going to teach our children to be advocates because they have to learn how to communicate for themselves. But we're going to give them that first time, that second time, because we told them how to kind of work that out. And when they're ignored, that's when we come in blazing, right? Because our children, Gus, will do the world for them. We know that, right? And we'll go to bat for them. So, but allow them to first be the first line of communicators. And please don't be the parent who's the communicator that says, oh, Miss Robinson, can you give my child extra time to do that assignment, when you know they have plenty of time to do it the first time? Don't become that parent, because then they take those bad habits with middle school to high school to college. And let me take my teacher hat off from high school and put my professor hat on. Parents, you can never, and we don't ever, and hear me, ever talk to parents, ever. College professors never communicate with parents. I don't care if you email us 10 times, we will not respond. Your student must know how to email their professor. They must know how to come and talk to their professor, because you cannot talk to them. You barely can call financial aid and ask questions. So you already know you can't talk to the student's professor. So if you are spoiling your child in middle school and high school by always sending that email, trying to get extra time for the assignment, please stop. Please don't do that. Please teach them to turn in their work on time. Be that parent that checks the online portal to make sure they turn in their work on time, right? Let's become that advocate on the other side that says, I have a standard. I have boundaries in this house, and you're going to meet them, right? And that's not us pressuring our children. That's us preparing them for the real world, right? And so, and listen, Miss Store already knew when I came, I was going to keep it. I was going to give the raw and uncut version, right? I'm going to give you the parent version plus the mentor version plus the coach version plus the teacher version plus the college professor version, because I want you to have all the arsenal that you can. And last but not least, please show up for parent conferences. Please don't be that parent that waits till your child get an F on their report card to start coming to your teacher, talk about, well, nobody notified me. Yes, we did. You got your progress report if you cared about it. And then you got the report card that showed the F. So I'm sure the progress report showed a C, D, or E. And then you just waited until that F, and that means you never checked the portal so that you can see the grades. Now, I have to say this for both sides, because there are some teachers who are great at putting in grades, and there are some who are horrible. But again, that's where you come in and you hold them accountable. But be that parent that's so involved that your children know they have not only a trusted ally, but you know that you are invested, because at the end of the day, college comes out of your bank account, or your savings. And I don't know about you, but I wanted those savings. I wanted that money to be for vacations. And I've been taking them. I'm telling y'all, I'll be all over. So I told my daughter, listen, you done got college to pay you. Girl, I'm gonna take you with me on those vacations. So we be everywhere. And so here's what I'm trying to help you do the same thing like I did and my parents that go through my program do. We want you to be able to take that money you've been saving and putting aside if you have and start taking your dream vacations. Why colleges is still making sure that your student is paid for. So parents, you still have a role in this as well. We have resources and we have free support and resources all over our website. Look at all of these resources. This is just a screenshot of some. Please go there for middle school, for high school, and for college students. We have the resources there. People always say they need, they want. Well, here it is. And it's free. All you have to do is click on the website and go get the information. And I'll have a screen coming up where you can scan the QR code and get to my website so that you can have the information. But we have resources. Let me recap because I know that was what we had to stay on time, right? And so, what to expect in high school? You already know that you have to maintain your academics. I've challenged and charged each and every one of you a 3.5 GPA. Middle school, high school, even in college for my seniors who are about to go off to college. Maintaining academic excellence, same thing. That's social and emotional wellness. Talk, speak up. Your voice matters. Ask for extra help, ask for guidance, tell someone you are struggling. You have people who are there for you. Get involved in school or in your community or in organizations. And I charge you to write your vision. It says in Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision and make it plain so that others may run with it. And so you want to be able to run with it, but you want your parents to be able to run with it with you as well, because then they can be your support system. So create your vision and parents back them up, support them, be the encouraging parent, not always the nagging parent. I know I was that parent too sometimes. And so we got to kind of meet them in the middle. I always hear parents say to me, well, Miss Robinson, how come every time I bring my student to you that they act like you the fairy godmother because they just do everything you say? I said, listen, if that's what they believe, let's let them believe it. I'll wave that magic wand. If we're going to get them to that college of their dreams, that's all that matters. I'm okay with being the fairy godmother. And so to whether it's my moms, whether it's dads, whether it's guardians, whether it's grandmas, this is your role. This is how you come into play, whatever position you play within your child or your support system for that student's life. And last and not least, tap into all resources and support that are there for you so that you have exactly what you need. And so I want to open it up for any questions from the students, whether you're middle school, high school, we have ninth graders, we have 12th graders, and we also have some middle school students and parents. Any questions that you have, now is your opportunity to ask any questions that you might have. I'm here to answer any questions, and then I'll put it on this screen so that you can see and you can be scanning the QR code that you need while I'm answering any questions that you have. So if you're not already connected to us, please subscribe to our newsletter. We send out a quarterly College Bound newsletter where we support students. We host workshops that are in-depth and geared to specific topics. So to my two seniors on here, check out my website starting Friday. I have a masterclass coming up for students and parents on I signed what's next. Most of you are getting ready to make a decision and choose a college, but you have no idea what's coming next after that. Get on that masterclass and I'm going to give you all the answers you need. Follow us on social media. We post college videos, we post information, we post highlights, we post anything college related on social media. So you can click that QR code and find us on social media. We have a scholarship membership. It's $19.97 to join that membership. We send out scholarships every month. There's over 50 plus scholarships, sometimes 100 and plus on that list, depending on what month it is and what's available. It is the best. You spend $19.97 at Starbucks within 2 days. And so this is going to give you a return on investment. If your kid wins one scholarship, you would have paid for what you paid over the year in one scholarship application, because most scholarships are $500 and above, and our membership don't even cost that. And so you can join our scholarship membership. You can also grab a copy of my book, Winning the Game of College Admissions. I will sign it and mail it to you. I always tell parents, again, we spend money on Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, spend money on something that's going to give you a return on investment. Amazon ranks this book #1 for helping high school families get into college. And so I promise you, it is a book that will be rewarding for you. If you're interested in any of our programs, we have our VIP College Bound program. You can see that here. You must be in high school already to get into that program. So you must be in 9th grade. It goes from 9th through 12th. And then we have what we call our college transition mentor program, which is not on here, but you can find it on our website. And that's where I mentor students that are at college for their first year, freshman year of transitioning over to college. Some kids stay with me their entire college career. Others just come with me for that first year. And then some just come the first 2 years, whatever that is that the student needs, I am there for them. Where I'm, again, what I talked about, that lifeline. So they know if they message me, I am there to connect for whatever they need. So these are ways that you can connect with us. I would love to stay connected with each and every family. And now, any questions, please, you can come off mute and ask the questions, or you can type the questions in the chat. Ms. Story, do we still have a few minutes or some time for some questions?
Yes, we do. I just want to say this was an awesome. And your theory is not just for high school and middle school. I was like, that's what people need for grown-up life.
Yeah.
When you really want to be adulting.
Yeah, yes, this is adulting, right? This is start. Here's what I always say. If most of us that are adults now would be different adults if we just had these resources and this knowledge when we were in middle and high school. We would have took on adulthood differently. As I always say for my young girls, I tell them all the time to be bold. Like I said today at University of Maryland Eastern Shore, the young lady said, she asked a question or something. I said, don't apologize for being great. Stand up right now and say, I am amazing and I'm great. We have to see, we're taught to apologize because we have multiple gifts and talents. We're supposed to. We're supposed to be great. I always say all the time, I'm unapologetic about telling people I'm great. Google me, I'm great. Right. And so that we should be able to, and that's not being conceited. That is saying, okay, you know what? I've worked hard to do the work. I believe in myself, because if you don't believe in you, you definitely can't expect someone else to believe in you.
Ain't that the truth? Questions, anyone? Does anyone have a question?
And parents, you can have questions as well. Guardians, grandmas, everybody, anyone can have questions. And I always say, please, no question is a dumb question. It's only dumb when we don't ask the question and then we get off and we don't have the answer, right? And it'd be like, I wish we could have asked such and such. So please, by all means, any question that you have, to my 2 seniors, if you have any questions about making your decision or your financial aid or not knowing this or not knowing that, to my 9th grader, if you have questions, or to my middle schoolers or any parents, if you have any questions, I promise you, no question is a dumb question. Please, by all means, you can ask. What should my 9th grader be doing this summer in preparation for her early college planning? If she already has an idea of what major she wants to major in, then she could do a summer program at a college. So my daughter, when she was in high school, she said, Ma, she used to be really heavy into drawing and sketching in middle school. Got to high school and all of a sudden she was too good for doing that, right? I tell you guys, they drop off on what they're doing based off of what they see and what's going on around them. But she still said, I love fashion. Then she watched CSI too much and said she wanted to be a forensic scientist. And so what I did was send her to a program at a college for it was like a whole week they spent at a college. This program costs money, but guess what it did in return? Because I always say we worry about that upfront cost, but we don't worry about what it gives us back in results. I was never going to be that parent. So she went to the program. I think the program was maybe like 1,700 or something for the week. She stayed on the college campus. 1,700 to stay on a college campus. They feed her for the whole week. She do activities for the whole week, right? And on top of that, they gave a scholarship. So if you wind up attending that college, you got 2 credits, plus you got a scholarship. Well, guess what? She wind up going to that college. not for that summer program she went for. She had changed her major by then. But here's what that says. My reason for sharing this story is our kids are young. They're not quite sure what they want to do. They think they want to do X, Y, and Z. But if I start asking them about 5 to 10 questions right now, we could determine that that's not really probably what they want because they've not done enough due diligence to know what that really means. And so if you send them to a program and they get some hands-on in that, they can really decide now, is that really what I want? Maybe I thought that's what I want, but actually I really want this. And that can help them to understand something different. So we have to look at the long-term investment and not what's the return on investment right now. And we often look at right now and we forget to look at the overall. Some of the things that we have for parents who go through my program, they're looking at the cost for my program for their students right now. But then they forget that, guess what? They get one acceptance letter from one college with merit aid, and they pay back their investment to me 5 times plus with one letter, which most of the time, that's the school they never even had on their kids' list. So you have to look at what's the investment down the road and not what's today. So yes, I would send her, if you can, you said she wants to be in sports medicine. I would find programs this summer that offer sports medicine, or I would find someone in sports medicine. Here's the power of social media. You better speak up and ask. Better make a post on your social media page. LinkedIn, if you're on LinkedIn, mom or dad. If you're on Facebook, mom or dad, and say, who do you know that's connected in the sports medicine arena? And can you tag them in this post? And when they start commenting, you go to their inbox. You tell them all about your daughter. Now, you don't, you let your daughter do it. All you do is make the introduction and ask, can your daughter have a conversation with that person? And then you find out if possibly maybe they can mentor her or him. If, oh, you said, I think you said you had a daughter. No, you just said 9th grader. They can mentor him or her. They could also maybe allow them to have an internship wherever they work at. So there is power in the acts, but if we don't position ourselves and start asking questions and putting it out there, opportunities will pass us by. I always tell students, and I tell parents the same thing, opportunities are not given, you create them. I literally was at University of Maryland Eastern Shore today because I positioned myself. I attended an event. The president was there speaking. She said, we always look for entrepreneur speakers to come and speak at our college to our students. I asked her, I met her down off the stage, asked her for her email, sent her an email. She CC'd me and everybody that made the decisions for speakers to come. They Googled me. What I tell y'all about being Googleable, right? They went to my website, saw my credentials and said, we want you to come. We want you to come in the fall. But can I tell you, this ain't the fall, this is the spring. Somebody else could not make it. And they said, oh, we don't want to wait to bring you in on the fall. Can you fill in this date now on the spring? So I was there. Now I'm going back in the fall. So put it out there, get yourself in the rooms. Parents, network for your students, and students, network for yourself, and get in alignment so that you can get the the things that and the resources that are available to you. How could kids get in touch with you? Follow me on my social media. You can also email me. Let me put my email in the text thread. You can subscribe to my email, or you can catch me on social media. I answer my own DMs. So if you inbox me on Instagram, that's me responding. Parents, if you inbox me on Facebook, that's me responding, or LinkedIn, that's me responding. And so you can find me or email me right there on email. And then I will also put my social media handle, but if you scan the code, it will take you right there. But I'm going to put my social media handle here inside the group chat. And then I also put our website, but you can scan that QR code and it'll take you. But here's our website also as well. So please, by all means, students, if you have questions, just email me. If you have questions, inbox me on social media. I will be more than willing to answer your questions, parents as well. Any questions, please, by all means, come off of mute. You can ask questions, and then I'm trying to pull the questions that are in the chat as well. Oh, someone said, may we receive this presentation to continue to progress? Yes, I will send, I don't mind. I will send this presentation to Ms. Dorr, and then Ms. Dorr can send it out to her, to you guys for those who registered, she can send it out to you. So absolutely, you can have it.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson.
Oh, you're welcome. You guys can definitely grab it.
Well, we have to bring this session now to a
Yes.
close. I so appreciate you. This was such a very informative, exciting, it motivated me. Oh, and I don't even have a kid at home anymore. But my grandson is 3, so I got things to look and review and start planning his future. But I just want to say you did an awesome job. I appreciate you taking the time. I can hear your passion. So you would be someone that I would want to align with, you know, and share your information with people who would like to be mentored, because you can really tell that this is your baby. And nothing gives somebody more comfort to know that when they place something in your hands, that person's going to cherish it and love it and do to it what you would want them to do for you. So I want to say thank you to you. Then I'm going to give a shout out to Ms. Bridget Washington, to her kids who started on the line first. So you got to send me the name, because she got the first gift card, because she was the
Yes,
first
she
person
was.
to show up for the workshop today. So make sure, Bridget, that you send me your grandbaby's name and your address, and we will send her out a gift card for her participation in today's
Absolutely.
workshop. We want to keep our kids motivated. We want them to know that when you invest in you, that your whole community is going to invest in you. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you to my sister on the education committee, Diane Hunter, for all her hard work. I want to thank Sister Bathsheba for all she does everything for us in technology. And I'm not technical savvy like her, but she has more patience and more grace. So I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to our immediate past president, Sheila Bryant, for her connection and for her love and for her supporting and encouraging us and sending us information that's going all around the community that we can pass out so we can make Generation X and Y and Z better, because it's no good having something and holding it all to yourself when you could share it to someone else, and we could have all kinds of people doing great things, especially our children of color. So I just want to say thank you again. I want to say thank you for everybody that showed up for the workshop. We look forward to seeing you next Tuesday night, same time, same place, same woman doing her thing. And I just want to say thank you. Is there anything else you would like to add, Sister Diane, before we shut down for the day?
No, I put it in the chat, but it was a wonderful workshop. I appreciated her information and her enthusiasm.
Thank you.
Kudos to you. Well, without further ado, thank everybody for showing up today, and mark it on your calendar for next Tuesday. Tell a friend. Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.